we would like to honor a lady by the name of Granger Gaskin, who was born in Guyana, in Georgetown. And since then, she has attended St. Margaret's Primary School, the Bishop's High School, the University of Guyana, which she left with a bachelor degree in English, and a keen awareness that there were many different types of mosquitoes. I got that awareness as well. An early ambition to be a journalist led to August holiday jobs for Mrs. Gaskin at the newspaper of the Trading Group 2 of state-owned company Guyana Stores Limited and Guyana National Printery. The birth of her daughter and son caused her to reevaluate her career direction, and with her husband, she intentionally temporarily migrated the family and opportunities for a fresh start. She decided to overlook her postgraduate diploma in development management, and with her husband, a second-generation jeweler, she opened Topaz. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to call on Miss Granger Gaskin.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening and happy International Women's Day 2018. Thank you for the introduction. I am Han. I have two surnames that could be a distraction from who Han is, but I generally push my way past that. And therein lies the irony of me standing here on International Women's Day at a celebratory event spearheaded by Selwyn. I'm under no illusion that what makes me interesting in a public sense is the context of my two surnames, two men's surnames. I'm someone's daughter, I'm someone's wife. I generally push my way past that too. Those two men get to be my father and my husband, in which they are fortunate. I run a business and I run a family with some success. The business is robust and reputable, and the family is strong and loving, if a bit uncooperative. I have managed to harangue two children into adulthood with satisfaction and pride, and reasonably within the boundaries of the law, though the remaining two are comparatively less biddable. But I cannot claim to be different in this from thousands of Guyanese women who have constructed their own successes in their own lives. I'm not unusual. I'm a woman. Women every day and everywhere, not just me, not just in Georgetown, not just in Guyana, have to take the good with the bad, and even to take the bad and make something good of it. Now, I agreed to this with no idea of what I could talk about in such a forum. Selwyn there said, yeah, he's looking ashamed, isn't he? He said, talk about yourself. He said, you're interesting. So I wasn't convinced, so I called my girlfriend, as we do. She's not here. She's the kind of girl that has to be in bed by 6:30 or else everything goes downhill. So she says, you're the woman who has everything. So I said I'd go over, pelt her with my shoe. She says, she's telling me which shoe I must pelt her with, so I told her she's not getting my shoe. So the conversation progressed, and she said her argument was, standing from outside of me, I'm running a successful business with 2 locations. I have 4 amazing children, one of whom designs beautiful jewelry but prefers to be an architect, one of whom is an Olympian studying to be a mechanical engineer, and the younger 2 who are supremely entertaining to her, even when drinking other people's wine and breaking her furniture. They have done that. So she says, I look good doing all of that, and I get fabulous jewelry. So I'm sure it looks very nice from the outside, but it's not magic. It's very hard work that does not stop. Raising a family requires binding, in my case, 6 different personalities into one unit. I won't be so dishonest as to say I do it alone. I have a supportive husband, lucky me, and I won't be so dishonest as to say that staying married for 25 years is easy. It's not. It is work, argument, and compromise, but it's worth it. I like to think that having 4 children spanning an age from 23 to 5 gives my opinion some authority in that regard. The first thing that no one should have to explain is that no 2 people are alike. Yet we do expect, as mothers, that like a cake recipe, that if we put the same ingredients in every time, the same thing will come out. No, not so. A family is like a zoo, where the monkeys want to eat, while the lions want to sleep, the birds are singing at the tops of their voices, and the alligators are sulking in a corner. Unfortunately, social services won't let us keep them tethered in separate cages, and we must allow them to roam free. So, the zookeeper does a lot of hollering and threatening, and on the second Sunday of May every year, we get a crooked card with a drawing of a lady with big hair and high heels, and if we're lucky, a box of chocolates. But this is what I really want to say to starter mothers and potential mothers and acting mothers on this day. You have to be the keeper of the zoo. You have to wield the broom, the feeding pail, the keys, the internet access, the dart gun if necessary. You have to make the decisions. You have to make the hard choices sometimes. And you have to realize that what works for everyone else's family is not necessarily the pattern you follow for yours. We are bombarded every day, as long as you have an internet connection, with images of perfection. It's not us, it's not you, it's not you, it's not me. That perfection is fake. Don't believe it, don't follow it. You have to step back. There can be a lot of group pressure from other mothers, from other families. And while it's good, it's always good to have people to lean on and to talk to. But it's also very important to know that there is no right way to raise a child. Because you will make mistakes, you'll second guess yourself, there will be doubt, and that's all fine. You don't have to follow what everyone else is doing. You don't have to make decisions based on what other people are talking about. All you need, I promise you, is common sense and the awareness that the goal is an adult, not a child. For you have to make sure that whatever ends up is an adult who is happy and fulfilled. Don't overthink the process and do not undervalue your input. Now, the business. I'm a bit shy of defining myself as an entrepreneur because jewelry is actually my husband's profession, as it was his father's. We created Topaz together, and then duty called him elsewhere, and Topaz came to be mine. Topaz has built a very strong brand in Guyana and a very good reputation for quality in design, product, and service. Again, it wasn't magic. It was and is hard work that does not stop. If you think working for yourself is glamorous, I will tell you this. You do not switch on at 8:30 a.m. and switch off at 4:30 p.m. with an hour for lunch. You don't get to switch off. Your mind is always on the next step on how to keep your employees employed. You work at home and in the car, on your way to home and from home. You compromise with time spent as a family. You can't sit through your children's Christmas concerts, and you don't go to the PTA meetings. You be the bad mom. You turn up late to the competitions, often after their race is long gone. But I will tell you this, if you make a little time for your children, be honest, explain to them that this is what you do for a living, this is where the money comes from, and they will understand, I promise. Especially the part about the money. Right. I have no business degree. My experience is all hands-on. And many of the tenets on which my business is run are quite simple. Treat your customers and your employees as you would like to be treated. Pay attention to people, and pay attention to the details that may not seem important. The details are always important. Do not lie. Explain yourself. This is how people trust you. Trust cannot be bought. And take risks. Balance them with caution, but you have to take risks. What are we celebrating today? What are we taking stock of? Guyanese women are free to vote, to own businesses and property, and are represented in government. And Guyanese women and girls have the highest suicide rate in the world. I think we have to ask ourselves, where is this coming from? Why are Guyanese women and girls victims of domestic and interrelationship violence at such a disturbing rate? Why do these tragedies exist? What is it that leads our women and our girls to value themselves so little, and that leads our men and boys to value them so little? I have to be frank, I objected to speaking at this forum because I don't consider my achievements to be extraordinary in any way. I thought, why me? Why not ask someone really important who has changed lives, saved lives? And I looked at this power posse here that I've been grouped with. Have you Googled them? I thought, what can I say? Look at them. So, which brings me to my point. We are, as women in our particular culture, too ready to be humble. We don't brag. We don't push ourselves. We don't step up and say, look at me. We keep our confidence within safe boundaries. And I do believe that a lot of what we as women do, as mothers, as employers, as friends, as sisters, as neighbors, and as aunties, requires a certain level of fierceness. And we find our fierce when we have to, where we think we have to, and then we step back. And maybe we have to do a lot less of the stepping back. We have to empower our girls, to educate them, to give them the tools, but importantly, we have to give them nerve. We have to raise our daughters to be fighters. We have to encourage our friends and our girlfriends and our sisters to fight. We have to encourage our sister women to go for it and to step away from dependency and to make hard choices that teach them how strong they are, how independent they are, and how independent they can be. We have to teach our girls to respect themselves and to demand that respect in all their relationships. We have to teach them that when they are not sure, there is always someone that they can talk to, and we have to be the woman, the friend, the person that they can talk to. And we have to teach our boys, because mothers have both boys and girls, so there is some responsibility that we have to take actively to teach our boys that gender is an identity and not a weapon. We have to have respect for ourselves, for our health, our bodies, our minds, our money. And we have to demand that respect from others, whether man, woman, or child. We have to redefine what our women are taught to expect of their own lives. Ambition is not a bad word, and ambition is not for other people. I'm not arguing that we have to do anything that we don't really want to do, just to prove a point. You don't have to be president if you don't really want to. What I mean is that whatever you want, you should be unafraid to seize. You should be whatever it is you want without feeling or being made to feel that that's not for you. So ladies, women, girls, on this one day out of 365, when most of the world concedes our value, we have to take stock and to plan our paths forward. We have to learn to use our own strength and find our own happiness. Thank you for listening.